world, Shelly here, and it is time for my best of 2017 face. So we covered foundations and concealers and primers. Now we're going to cover all of the products you put on top of those things. So we'll finish off the face today, and I still have coming up eyes and lips and hair, so stay tuned. I'm doing these every day all week to get all of my best of 2017 products out into the world for you to check out if you are so inclined. So let's kick it off with powders. Now, I just put a general powder category to include foundation / setting powder, that kind of stuff, because I have a few that I like, but they all fit into a top five. These are all not necessarily things that were released in 2017, but they're all things that I have reached for over and over and over and over again in 2017, like my stranded on a desert island kinds of things. This is what I would take with me. I'm going to go through all of these from 5th place up to 1st place, and they are ranked by my favorites, and all of them, though, are awesome products. I would not want to give up any of these in my life. So that is how we're gonna do this. In 5th place for the powder category, I had a tie, and I'm gonna tell you guys, I spent way longer than I should have struggling over trying to eliminate one of these so that it would only be 5, but I just couldn't, because I reach for these all equally well and equally frequently, and I like them equally enough. So I actually have 6 in the powder category, and so in 5th place for a tie, I've got the It Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Plus. This is the Airbrush Perfecting Powder, and I use this primarily on like no makeup days, where I will just put down BB cream or like that no foundation from Perricone MD, and then I will put this over it. I will buff this into the skin over it as a foundation, and it's got just enough coverage that it's better than my skin. It kind of evens out my tone a bit, which I like. It is not settling into lines. It doesn't dry my skin out. It's got good skincare ingredients. It's also got SPF. I have this in the shade Fair. It's SPF 50. Never use this as your primary SPF, but on top of other things, I like having that sort of insurance policy. And it's just a really smooth, nice powder. I don't have any trouble with this settling into lines or pores, and it just blends out super smooth. Doesn't have a slip, it's a matte finish, it's not dewy. I'm not a huge fan of dewy, so this stuff is great over BB cream. Tied with it in 5th place is a find from the drugstore. I had a CVS haul when LA Girl products were brought into my local CVS, and this is the Pro Powder. It's a translucent setting powder, and what I like about this is that it's, can you see it floating up? That's what I don't like, is it floats in the air like crazy. But it does that because it is so finely milled. It's amazingly finely milled. And I find that it sets my under eyes beautifully. I have just dry, crepey, liney under eyes. It is a good thing right now that lighting cures all evils, because my under eyes are a hot friggin' mess. When I go back and edit this, we'll see if you can see just how liney and crepey and dry my under eyes are right now. Winter is so brutal to me, and this is with moisturizer and oil under my eyes. Like, it's just brutal. But this stuff does not settle into the lines under my eyes. It is super, super, super duper fine in terms of its texture, and it's translucent. I haven't done a flashback test with it, but I don't take flash photography often at all, so that's not really something I worry about. But super comfortable, not drying under my eyes, really cheap, good stuff. In 4th place is the Physicians Formula Youthful Wear. Now, I have 2 versions of this. This is the spotless one that is supposed to reduce dark spots, and this is just the Youthful Wear. I think they call it illuminating. Yes, the illuminating finish. And I like these for 2 reasons. They set my foundation beautifully at a really inexpensive price. This one I like because I have dark spots that I am trying to reduce. I don't know if it actually does reduce them, but this is more of a matte finish, and it's a great formula. This one I like. It's got a bit of a shimmer to it, and if you look at it on the skin, you can kind of see, I don't want to call it glitter, but you can see the shimmer. Let's see if you'll be, can you tell right here? Maybe, maybe not. It's got a little bit of a sheen to it, which generally I wouldn't say I like because it would accentuate texture and fine lines and things like that, but it doesn't. That's the thing. So when I have a foundation that is like flat and kind of dead looking, that doesn't have a lot of dimension to it, I will set it with this because it has just enough of sort of dimension to it that it improves those dead looking foundations. So for a drugstore product that works that well, Physicians Formula really does have their powders figured out. In third place, this one is knocking off a drugstore favorite from last year. I had the Boots No. 7 Perfect Light Translucent Setting Powder on there last year in 2016, and I do really like that powder. It's not that I don't like it. It's just that when I finally got around to trying the Kat Von D Lock-It Translucent Setting Powder, I just fell in love with this stuff. It's just, again, it's very finely milled. It's got a slight banana color to it, which I think helps with my dark circles, which the Boots No. 7 does not have that sort of yellowish tint to it. This helps hide my dark circles. It's super finely milled. It does not dry out my under eye. I can even almost bake with it, and I generally can't bake because I have such dry under eyes, but this I can bake and it smooths things out. Not that I don't like the Boots No. 7, I would probably put that as an honorable mention, but the KVD, good stuff. In second place, this is drugstore pricing. I think this was 12 bucks. You have to order it online though. I got mine at Beautylish. It's the RCMA No Color Powder, and after a year of use, I'm only down to here. And I use this probably 3 days a week. I have so many choices here that I reach for different things just to mix it up, but I use this on the regular, and my favorite way to use this is with a damp beauty sponge and to set my under eye concealer using a damp sponge and this powder. Super finely milled, has a really nice texture, it's translucent, it looks white in the bottle of course, but it is a translucent setting powder. I will also use this to set the center of my face if I don't feel like setting with the next powder that I'm going to show you, but this one is kind of a no-fail, reach for, no worries, no fuss, no muss, it works. The only thing I don't like is that it's in a spice bottle, for goodness sake. Like, this thing is ridiculous. This is, when I run out of my Boots No. 7, I'm going to put this into that sifter jar because this bottle's ridiculous. Number 1 in powders, you guys have seen me use this a gazillion times. It's the Laura Geller Baked Balance and Brighten Foundation in Porcelain. And this stuff is magical, no joke. It's, first off, I use this every single day and I haven't hit pan. Like, I've got to hit pan sometime soon, right? There's so much product in here. Let's see. I don't know anything about powder, product content, 0.32 ounces. I don't know how much that is. I haven't hit pan yet, and I use this constantly. The thing I like about this powder is that it sets foundation beautifully. I can use just a tiny bit to set my foundation. I can use a little bit more if I have a dewy foundation that I'm trying to tone down the dewiness. It does not cake up. It does not look heavy. It has this swirl of color balancing stuff. The whole balance and brighten thing really does work because I can also use this if I'm just doing a BB cream and I just want a little bit of powder to set it, and it will sort of bring life back. It does something to make my skin look like it has really nice life in it, but not the way the Physicians Formula does. That's more of a sheen. This is no sheen, totally matte, but balances things out, brightens what's supposed to be brightened. It is gorgeous. I could not live without this powder. If everything on my table right now that I'm telling you about today, this is the one, yeah, this is it. I would, of all the things on this table, I would not live without this. If you forced me to, I would live without everything else, but not this one. This stuff is amazing. I love it. I want it in my life forever. Let's move on to blush and bronzer. I only use one bronzer in my whole life, and we will get to that in a moment, so I just put them all in the same category. And let's start out with 5th place, and it is Milani's Baked Blush. And my favorite color in this is Luminoso. and it's great for fair skin tones. It's just sort of a peachy pink, and it swatches beautifully. It is one of those colors that blends out really nicely, and you can get away with just a touch. You can build it up if you want to. It does not emphasize texture. This blush is just really, really easy to work with. But I have another color here I just wanted to show you guys that I also like. This is Bella Bellini. So if you want something a little more cool toned and a little more on the pink side, go with this guy, because it's got a teeny bit of a sheen to it, but it also blends out beautifully, and it's great in terms of buildability. You can go for just a little natural flush. You can build it up if you want more of a boom. It's good stuff, and these are very reasonably priced, and I was able to pick them both up at the drugstore. In fourth place is from Tarte, and it is their Amazonian Clay Blush in Exposed. The reason I love this stuff is because it's really, really mild. It's on my ring finger here. It's very, very natural. You're not going to build this up to be super dark in any way, shape, or form. It's a very natural, subtle, pink, matte blush. And that's what I go for most days. I'm not huge into a ton of blush. Like, I've been doing a lot of blush lately, at least a lot for me, because you guys have been encouraging me to do it. And I mean, look at that. This is a ton of blush for me right now. This would not work for that. This is very, very subtle. But if you are fair-skinned and you need a subtle blush that isn't going to go ham on you, this is the one. In third place is from Physicians Formula. This is the Butter Blush. You had to see this coming. Of course, this is the shade Natural Glow. This does have a slight sheen to it. It is a very smooth, soft formula, and it's hard to see blush on swatches, but I'll do it for you anyway. The thing I like about this stuff is you can't go overboard. You can pile this on if you are not good at blush. In fact, this is one of the first blushes that I really fell in love with, being someone who never used to wear blush and hated blush, because you can't do it wrong. You can't put it in the wrong place. You can't put too much on. You can't not blend it out. No matter what you do, this stuff looks good. Now, this is the only one that I've got sitting next to me right now, but I own every shade of this. Vintage Rouge is really nice. Plum Rose is really nice. I have all of the shades of this blush, and they're all gorgeous. They're all super blendable. They all smell like vacation. These are just gorgeous. But if you're looking for a starter blush, or you want one that just gives you a little bit of a oomph to your cheeks that you cannot mess up, this is what you cannot mess up. It is gorgeous. My number one blush, and in second place in the brush bronzer category, is from Becca. It is the Mineral Blush in Flowerchild. Now, this is a gorgeous color, but it's super pigmented, so it's easy to go overboard. So you don't want to go overboard if you're just trying to be natural. But if you don't go overboard, go super light-handed, you can get a beautiful flush, super natural looking. The color is just beautiful. I love this stuff. It wears so well. But see how even that little bit is the most visible of all of the blushes I swatched on here? It's super duper pigmented. So go in with a very light hand with this stuff, but I love this color on fair skin. It is just mwah. Number one in blush and bronzer. Again, you guys see this coming a mile away. I've never committed to a single makeup product this long in my life. So it is the L'Oreal Glam Bronze. This is a limited edition product, and it comes out in the summer, but it has come out 2 summers in a row, and it comes out in 2 shades. I've got it in light pale. There's also a light medium, and this is just, it's the only bronzer I like. It's not too brown. It's not too orange. It's not too yellow. It's also not too cool toned, because that's more contour, but it's cool enough that I can get away using this as a contour. So I just find this to be easy to work with, super, oh, it's so smooth, you guys. It's so smooth. It looks like it has a little bit of a sheen, but it honestly doesn't. It just, my finger just looks shiny for some reason, but it does not have any kind of sheen to it. It's a nice matte bronze. It's so pretty. It's lovely. I've hit pan. I have a backup. Don't you worry. If you were hoping that I would stop using this stuff because I was running out, got a backup. Last category, highlight and contour. I've got them together in the same category because there's only one contour that I ever use, so I just put them in here. And starting at 5th place, we're gonna go with a highlight. It is from Hourglass. It is their Ambient Strobe Lighting, and I have this in the shade Incandescent Strobe Light. And these are just beautiful. You've probably seen a million people use these by now. The color, they're super soft. They're very glowy. This can also be, you know, subtle, or you can build it up either way, and they work beautifully. They're just very pretty. I am just not, well, I've been changing. I was gonna say I'm just not enough of a fan of highlight to have a bunch of these because they are pretty pricey. I had gotten this when I first became VIB Rouge and had my 2016 sort of makeover done, and they did this and I liked it and I bought it. I haven't bought any more, not because I don't like it, it's just that there's so many good highlights out in the world. I have gotten pretty into highlight in the last like 4 or 5 months, but this one is great if you've got the budget for it. I like it primarily because I can wear it on a natural day and not be really blingy but still have dimension to my face, or I can build it up and it's equally gorgeous. In 4th place, we have the only contour that I use, and it is not even a contour, it is a blush. It is from NYX. It is their blush in Taupe, the high definition blush in the shade Taupe, and I'm wearing it today as a contour. It's just the right cool tone to make a shadow. The whole point of shadow, the whole point of contour is to create dimension on your face by darkening areas that would naturally have a shadow when light hits your face. And so that's like under your cheekbones and along the sides of your nose, because the sun would highlight the bridge of your nose. You know, it's meant to create shadow. So you generally want a cool tone because shadows are usually gray. Now, do you want to put gray on your face? No, it's not too appealing looking if you get something that's too muddy or too gray, but this is not too muddy, it is not too gray, it's just enough gray that on a fair skin tone it works really well as a contour. So HD Blush from NYX in Taupe is my contour. In 3rd place, this is a multitasker. It's from Physicians Formula. It is the Shimmer Brick in Natural Nude, and I originally discovered this through Thaitela's channel. This works as eyeshadow, this works as inner corner highlight, this works as cheek highlight. It does not emphasize texture. It is a beautiful sheen. It's pretty ba-bam, like it's a going out kind of a highlight. It's beautiful, but it's pretty bold. But you've got a lot of shades here to customize what your look is. You can go gold, you can go champagne, you can go pink, you can mix them all together and just get a multi-dimensional look. It's really flexible, really easy to use, blends out beautifully, and nice buy at the drugstore. 2nd place in highlighters, it is the Wet n Wild MegaGlow Highlighting Powder. I'm gonna put my favorite as Blossom Glow. That's what this shade is. It's super smooth, soft, kind of buttery feeling. It's a beautiful highlight on fair skin tones. It's light enough that it highlights. It blends out gorgeously if you want it to be blended out. You just get a really pretty sheen. But I will say, I own every MegaGlow highlighter since they started putting these out back in their limited edition. I think the Sweetest Bling was my original favorite, but that's limited edition. You can't get it anymore. These are gorgeous. I have not had a fail yet in all of their shades. So I haven't gotten that quad palette yet, the highlighting palette that came out a little while ago, but the individuals so far, I've bought them all. I love them all. My #1 favorite highlighter, and I think this is the one that made me fall in love with highlighter. It is from Laura Geller. It is the Baked Gelato Swirl highlighter. This is in the shade Diamond Dust. It was originally a limited edition shade. They have now put it in their permanent line, which is awesome. This stuff, oh my goodness. It's so soft, so pretty. This has like a pink shift to it. Oh my God, I can't even handle what I'm looking at right now. Do you see this? And if you want, it blends out into a gorgeous sheen if you want something less in your face. It's so beautiful. It's the first highlighter on me that I think just blended into my skin and looked so natural, yet, you know, I'm clearly not going for a natural look. That's not the way I do makeup most days. But natural in the sense that it accentuated my features without feeling like you could see the makeup, if that makes any sense at all. I'm in love with this formula. This would be second place. If you told me I had to give up everything on this table, are they both Laura Geller? Maybe I should try more Laura Geller stuff. Because if you told me that I had to give up my whole table, these are my top two. My Laura Geller powder, my Laura Geller highlight. I don't think I have anything else from Laura Geller. Maybe I need to check more out from her. So good, you guys. So good. That is it for my best of 2017 face category. If you are enjoying this series, please give me a thumbs up down below. Let me know to keep on making them. Thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Click that notification bell. You'll get notified every time I post a new video 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, except this week is every single day for the best of 2017. So I will see you guys tomorrow with the next in the best of series. I appreciate your time, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.